What's up, YouTube? Brian here with Team D-Boyz Infinity. I'm still alive, not well, but still alive. So, as I previously mentioned in my last Metal Foes deck profile, the last time I actually recorded a video, just like me one-on-one, um, I've been under a lot of stress lately, so I finally am able to get back to y'all with some content for the time being. So, yeah, I've been going through a lot, but I did get that Red Eyes updated deck profile that a few of you asked for uploaded. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. It's also on the channel. Um, but yeah, I've still been going to locals. So uh, I've been playing Paleozoic. I'd switch back to that deck. I tested a lot with Metal Foes. I was getting really frustrated with it. Obviously, the hit to Kieran was big, so I figured out something that I think will work. So I'll update that profile for y'all shortly, but I don't know exactly when because I may take the list to regionals on the 21st of May. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll bring it to y'all immediately. It depends, but I will update it. So I'm excited for sneak peek coming up this week. So that'll be fun. But last week I played my good old favorite Cosmos. This is the deck I promised to bring y'all. I had the Zodiac build, but I said I was going to test with artifacts. I had been, but I needed to get my card of demises back from my friend who was borrowing them. I haven't seen him in months, so I was finally able to get those back. So I had the deck, so I decided to play it this weekend at locals. I finished second. My only loss was to the winner who was um, playing 60 card Skull Servants. Deck's crazy. He just like ran over my monsters with the big king. It had huge attack, and uh, I ended up game three. I ended up like really low on resources. He just ran over my monster, and I ripped Card of Demise for turns. The only card I had, and I activated and drew into two artifacts and a hand trap, and so I ended up losing. But cause he had a twin twister, so he pondered like activating it, and of course my moral attack, my side, which does nothing to that deck, but still would have triggered, and I would have been alive for another turn. He's like, what if he has Mirror Force, and then he just decided to go for it and had game. So I ended up losing to 60 card Skull Servants. Scythe doesn't really do anything. D-Barrier doesn't really do anything. So I can see where that could have came in. I didn't open as optimally as I wanted to game one either. So anyway, I'll go ahead and hop into the list. So, but for the monsters, for the ships, we played Dark Destroyer, of course. One Dark Eclipser. There's a lot of Paleo players that run around at my locals besides myself. So Eclipser's really good, especially in a meta where you're expecting Paleo players. All the ships are good though because they can't be targeted, and a lot of the Paleo traps target. But Eclipser can interrupt the chains by negating the activated trap. One Forerunner, just good in grind games, gain back life. One Landwalker, another solid one. The only ship I play two of is Slip Rider. I've kind of like stayed at a ratio of six ships in my Demise Kozmo decks. I usually want to resolve Tin Can twice to gain enough advantage and grind through traps. If I don't just resolve it once and then outright win, because a lot of times you can OTK on turn two, depending on how many resources you take away from your opponent with your traps. But usually I expect to have gained enough resources off of the tin can after two searches. Also, Slip Rider is really good in this build because of the artifacts as well. For the pilots, one Dark Lady, really good to float into during your opponent's turn with stuff like Mojo or when they destroy our monsters. The Linchpin, obviously, 3 tin can. The best card, you always want to open this in the Demise build so you can search your ships in the end phase after you resolve Demise, and then protect it with traps and be able to go off next turn. And some one-of pilots for utility. One Wicked Witch. I think in this build, this is probably the best pilot to open up with that's not Tin Can, because you can put it. It's the only other pilot you can normal summon turn one, and actually does something because it kind of like it's difficult to get rid of, so it kind of like forces an answer out of your opponent, and it can also interrupt the paleo chains with its quick effect. I honestly might want to bump that up to three, but I would have to do more testing. This is just kind of the list I had from months ago when I was testing, so it hasn't really been updated too much. But Farm Girl, obviously, for OTKs, I got an OTK against the Skull Servant player, so still really good. Also, just a good monster to have on field. If you just have a bunch of traps backed up with the Farm Girl, you can like swing and just gain searches like free advantage, and then like demise in main phase two and set the traps if you don't have any other plays. And then the last one, utility, Strawman. I play Strawman. I don't know. I think most Demise builds play at least one. I'm pretty sure every Kozmo deck should at least play one because it's just a really good card. Like during your opponent's turn, you can float into it and then bring back your ships that got banished. Um, Also, strangely relevant when I was testing this deck, a lot of the monsters in the current meta have really low attack. So sometimes if I opened like really badly, like I opened the Strawman, but I got Demise and like trap cards, I would just set the Strawman and they couldn't run it over. Like, that's actually happened before. So I guess that's kind of relevant. But anyway, and then last but not least, I play a small artifact engine, two Scythe, one Mortal Tack, and one Beagle Tack. Beagle Tack's really good in this deck because a lot of builds don't play it. You don't really need more than two Scythe because you can recycle them with Call, which is something nice about this deck. And then also with Beagle Tack, it can make your Kozmo, or sorry, it can make your artifacts you draw into live. You can Sanctum into him, and he's another material for Pallades. But he can also pop like a set Cosmo Town. Like you can just set a Cosmo Town with an artifact and then go into Beagle Talk, pop the Scythe in the town to get a search. So that's kind of a neat interaction you can do with this deck. Oftentimes it happens if you have town up and you demise into a second town, you can just set it if you have Sanctum and an artifact in the back row. So that's a really cool interaction. But yeah, other than that, I think that's enough said on the artifacts. So that's it for the monsters. So onto the spells. We obviously play triple Cosmo Town. Really necessary. Gives you free +1 every turn by recovering from the Vanish Zone. The ability to mulligan in a Demise deck is really good because you play more monsters in the standard Demise deck. Although the artifacts don't really count because you can set them to your back row, but still, like you play a lot more monsters, so you can shuffle them back with town to make your hands like less cloggy with like big ships. Obviously, 3 card Demise. So just got those back, really good. Don't really need to say much about that. 2 Pot of Duality for extra draw power, and 2 Ignition for back row removal, as well as you can pop your own town, and you can pop, because like Twin Twisters, the hand discard is like almost never there because a lot of times you're playing without a hand. But Ignition, you can like pop your town as well, which is kind of cool because it's like free because it replaces itself with the artifact. And you could also pop like a Beagle Talk in your back row and do that play, set the artifact, and then Beagle Talk will proc and pop the artifact. So that's good if you open Beagle Talk or you draw into Beagle Talk. And the last spells are 2 1-ofs, 1 Raigeki, and 1 Teleport. Obviously, Teleport is really good to tutor into Farm Girl, as well as like you can go into Tin Can turn 1, or if you open Demise, you can set Teleport and go into Tin Can in there in phase. Raigeki is just really strong right now, this format, but it also just is so broken. Like if you open it with Farm Girl, and it's just ridiculous. Or not open it, but like if you have it with Farm Girl, you can just blast their field and then Farm Girl them for a game. Onto the traps, there's a lot of these. For the Kozmo traps, I guess, run 3 Called Haunted. Really good, along with 2 Oasis and 1 Cosmojo. You can search Cosmojo. So I maxed on it last year when I played this deck, but you only really need one. There's a lot of other better traps to play now, but yeah, not really much to be said about this Cosmo. You got to play your revival traps for your ships, especially since it's more of a tin can turbo build. Um, Triple Sanctum, obviously, for the artifact engine. And then for the generic traps, I run 3 strike. I side deck the warning for like anything that could side Denko Sake against me. But I contemplated maining it. Last year I mained it because of Monarchs. Warning was better against Monarchs. But yeah, you could play warning if you don't have strikes. And then 2-dimensional barrier obviously shuts down a lot of decks this format. Doesn't really do anything to this deck or like to Infernoids, so there's some matchups where it's bad against, or Skull Servants apparently, but yeah, that's it for the traps. So onto the extra deck. The extra deck's really random. The only multiple like recurring levels you play are 5s between the Slip Riders and the artifacts, so D-Boyz. Um, are the artifacts, so like you only really make rank 5s. I don't run any like rank 3s or anything like you normally see in a Cosmo deck. So Barbaroid as a target for Nova if it's destroyed. 2 Infinity, because if you bring back a detached Nova off of call, you can make a second one. Why not? I mean, I had room. Uh, and the 1 Nova to go with the Infinities. Ptolemy M7 and double Pallades. These are really the only things you make. They help you do your artifact scythe loop, which is really neat. And then Volcasaurus to make game sometimes. Zen Myers, another good rank 5. Durandal's pretty good. You sometimes make him because you can make them pop your town or your artifact, or even sometimes your calls that are like attached to ships because then they'll float, so it's free anyway. The hand disruption effect's nice too. Shark Fortress because double attacking farm girls is broken. Magna Liger because it's a generic rank 5 that's pretty good. Adrius to pop floodgates, I guess. And Crimson Armor Shadow Ninja because it's a hard to kill rank 5. Yeah. Oh, and then Gaia Charger to stick on like Volca or anything to do piercing. So that's pretty much it. Like not really much to say there. It's pretty random. So that's it for the deck profile. Let me know down below if you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments or questions or suggestions about the deck, like it if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Let me know what y'all want to see. I promise I'll be bringing some more profiles very soon. So thank you guys for watching.